the languages. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who understands the languages. And you can make in sujood preferable to stay in dua in Arabic, or can we make an our language? In sujood is preferable to stay at dua in Arabic. Right, so when you are outside of salah, you can go into prostration and you can make dua and you can make it in your own language. Okay, we're having this discussion. In fact, yesterday, one of the young lads, one of our hufaz who leads the Taraweeh, he was asking me if we could make dua in our own language in salah, right? So he said, if I wanted to prolong my sajda, my prostration. Walaikum salam, brother Kabir Hussein. I will be coming to the comments in a few moments, okay? I keep getting sidetracked. So his question was, can we make additional du'as, and even if it's in our language? He said you can't, because the Prophet Muhammad said, Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli, pray as you have seen me pray. And that is how salah is. We can't start adding things onto the salah. So you can't go into prostration and pray at-tahiyyatu lillahi wa salawatu wa-tayyibat, or start praying Surah Al-Ikhlas, or start praying Surah Al-Fatiha. Yeah? So the salah will be left as the salah the Prophet Muhammad he prayed. There's a I heard of the fact that we must stay. Jazakallah for that, Adija, in Arabic. Yes, salah must remain in Arabic, and that's the point I was making to him. I said, look, if you're talking about dua, the closest you can get to Allah is in prostration, right? When you put your forehead on the ground. Now you can make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you can make dua in Arabic, in Bengali, in English, your own native language. If you don't know Arabic, that's fine. But outside of salah, when you go into prostration, you can make du'as. And there are 5 ways of making dua. 5 ways, okay? Number 1, brother, when you pray behind the imam, do you read Fatiha only? Yes, you read Surah Al-Fatiha. You will read only Surah Al-Fatiha, okay? In the rak'ats where you don't hear the imam reading. If the imam is praying loud, then you must listen to the recitation of the Quran. Why? Because Allah mentions, وَإِذَا قُرِيَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ وَأَنصِتُوا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. Right. So what are the 5 methods of making dua? The most powerful one is in prostration. The most powerful one is prostration. Okay. What about in Hanafi madhab? In Hanafi madhab, you're not allowed. Not that you're not allowed. In Hanafi madhab, you remain silent. So the ruling I've given you is the ruling that I follow, which is the ruling of Imam Malik, and that is that if the imam is praying Surah Al-Fatiha, you listen, and if the imam is not praying, then you pray. Right. Whereas, for example, in the Shafi'i madhab, whether the imam prays or not, you must pray Surah Al-Fatiha. Why? Because the hadith is لا صلاة لمن لم يقرأ بفاتحة الكتاب. لا صلاة لمن لم يقرأ بفاتحة الكتاب. So the person who does not pray Fatiha, their salah is not accepted. So which is why if you go to Shafi'i masjid, the imam says وَلَا ضَالِّينَ Ameen, and then he remains silent, and then the people behind him will pray. Okay, I hope that answers the question. Allah knows best. So 5 ways of making dua. Number 1 is going into sajda, in prostration. Outside of salah, put your forehead on the ground. That is the most powerful way of making dua. That's the closest you get to Allah. That's number 1. Number 2 is raising your hands. This is most common with people, is when they raise their hand. That's number 2. Number 3 is fold your hands and make dua like this. So when you're praying salah, yeah. Number 4 is raising your index finger, yeah. Number 4 is raising your index finger, and number 5 is doing nothing. Your hands on the side, and you're making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yeah. Your hands on the side and making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So let's go to number 1, making dua in prostration. Number 2 is you can make dua with by raising your hands, and you will raise your hands like this. Can you make dua in ruku? We've just That's how